well over a month since we've last done a video. It's a Thursday night, 8:30. Why not? I just decided it was time to do some color. I'm using the Matrix So Color, the 6RR, which is a very bright red, but I'm toning it down with a 10N. Sorry, my allergies, guys. I'm toning it down with a 10 neutral so that it's more of a brown red like I have been using on my previous videos. And then I also have a video coming up and sans a few requests that I've gotten. Hang on, guys. Yeah. Sans a few requests I have gotten to do a video on how to lengthen your micro locks. It's one of my most viewed videos on my YouTube channel, but it also has music in the background. So sometimes I feel like it's a little bit more organic if you don't have any music or you're going live. So I owed it to my viewership to kind of talk to you on this wonderful Thursday. So we're just gonna jump right in. I'm gonna try to touch the entire roots up with the color, but some of it I'm gonna kind of smooth through the ends, even though I want those to stay lighter. Most of that'll wash off when I shampoo it. So we got a busy weekend, and yeah, I need this gray gone. So yeah, you'll see me kind of looking over here. Say hello, tell me where you are calling from, viewing from. I said calling from like it's a if you have any questions, feel free to put them on here. I will look at the screen and kind of answer those as I can. But yes, when you're applying your color, like all of my past videos, you want to make sure that you're getting to those roots. The roots only. A lot of people now it's been a while since I've colored, so I'm going to go a little bit down the shaft, but not very much. Because remember, this is a 6RR. You're going to see this kind of somewhat turn extremely red, which is fine, like I said, because it's still a brown and I put a neutral in it. I'm using about a 25 volume because I do want to soften the gray. And so anytime you're adding color to your micro locks, you know, it's not like applying color to just like your regular hair, because you need a little bit more than you normally would use because it needs to penetrate the shaft of your locks. So this goes for dreadlocks. And again, dreadlocks you're going to use a little bit more too, just because they're thicker. And when the hair is wet, it's more porous. So again, this is a 6RR with a 10 neutral. So it's going to be like red, but I had to tone it down. Well, Drick, guess what? It's 15 people, so you on here, so at least that's one. Keep it cute and keep it moving, all right? So anyway, we're going to, if you don't have locks, why you on here anyway? So have a good evening. So anyway, we are just, like I said, applying it. It's been a while since I put the color on the roots. Go down the shaft a little bit. And actually, at the very last 10 minutes of putting this on, hello, Kendall. Pray that you are having a fabulous evening. And just do each section so you can make sure, because you wanted to see greatness, Charlotte. I actually have a sister and aunt named Charlotte, so hello. So yeah, just applying that. I'm just, as a professional hairdresser, I'm just trying to show you guys how to apply that color. It's going to be a hot weekend. And as you can see, that color is already lifting because it is a 6RR. Hello. Hello, Normita. Is it chemical free? No, it is not. This is actually a permanent hair color. As I said at the beginning of the video, I use about a 25 volume because I do have gray hair. Gray hair can be extremely resistant to color. When you go up about a half level to a whole level, it actually softens the gray so that the gray can take in the color. Some people don't use a high enough volume to kind of get that gray, but you need to go up a little bit. It may not be good, Kendall, but that's what we doing, baby. Okay? For each his own. I don't knock anybody's method, but this is what works for me. So yeah, just go in. And like I said, the results won't be on the live, but because I've got to let it process for about, probably about 25 minutes. And I always do like my colors right before I shampoo it. As y'all can see, this is it's already turning red. Like really red. And I got to be super careful because I think once I get to the 25-minute limit, I'll be fine to remove that. And just kind of rinse it out and I'll be good. The main thing was having some color this weekend because as I pulled up to the professional hair store, they were actually counting the money to leave for the evening. And although the one girl looked like she wanted to let me in, I could tell she was ready to go home. So again, we just using what we got on hand. So yes, I am. And one of the things I wanted to mention was I did a promo with a company that makes sublimations. I think I'm saying that right. For shirts, clothes. I mean, you can use it for cups, the vinyl. So big shout out to them. I will actually have them tagged in this video. I would have had that shirt on, but I didn't want to get color on it. The design turned out beautiful. But yeah, as you can see, it's turning pretty red. And it's going to somewhat match the color, the ends of them somewhat. Because like I said, I put some highlights in it. But I didn't want it to get too light. So this side is already lightened up compared to this side. That's my natural color. My natural hair color is really dark. It pulls red easy. And also, yeah, I'm trying to be cute this weekend, which is why I had these glasses, right? So, of course, y'all know I'm also an image consultant. I do that as well as interior decorating or whatever. And one of the things that you should consider when you buy eyeglasses is, do they match and go with your skin tone? Well, the ones I have are black. And I'm just like, well, my hair is light. My skin pulls gold. So guess what your girl did? Went outside. I had some spray paint on hand. I popped them lenses out. So I'm trying to be cute this weekend. I got some stuff I'm doing. I had planned on going out of town and being cute. Yes, and you can use peroxide too. That's another good pointer, Kendall. People don't realize it, but basically developer is peroxide. It's just different strengths of it. And some people do, and that's another way you can actually soften your gray. But yeah, I was trying to take me and my daughter out of town, about 2.5 hours from here, outside of Nashville. But we are going to stay in town this weekend, and we are doing a mommy-daughter weekend. We're gonna have a few things going on, a picnic, all that good stuff. So as you guys can see, that red is really, lifting. And as you can see, because it's been such a time since I've colored it, so you can see it already coming up. See, so it's almost kind of different when you're looking at it on camera versus what I'm showing you and what I actually see in the mirror. It's going to be gorgeous because, of course, your girl knows what she's doing. And again, I'm going to get the back of it. I've actually got it on my wall over here. I'm going to have to get that off. I've been painting and stuff today. And most people, when they don't know how to do the back, this is a FYI. If you have one of those three-way mirrors, because I remember a woman actually that I met, she uses a three-way mirror to lock her micro locks, which is a brilliant idea if you want to stand and do it at the same time, But Kendall, I'm actually originally from Kentucky. I'm a Kentucky girl, hence the name KySouthernBelle. My origins stem in the South. And so I've just always loved everything Southern, the culture, the food. So I'm the Southern Belle. So yes, I'm from Kentucky, and I don't live in Kentucky anymore. I've been gone for about 4 years. but Kentucky is home. But if you, so my point was back from that, some color on my nose. So if you don't have a three-way mirror, you can also take a mirror, turn around, look at yourself in the mirror. I'll take these off a second. If that makes it a little bit easier, but I can usually feel where I am. Now I might miss a spot or two, but usually I'm pretty spot on. Sorry, I had to get that off because I don't need that staining my wall. Kansas City, Missouri. I've been to Missouri well, I ain't gonna say plenty of times, a few times, but never to Kansas. But I've met people from Kansas. So Kansas is in the building. You like a state over from Kentucky? I think, yeah. Wait, maybe Arkansas. But yes, not far. Okay, Charlotte, Texas. Okay. So you a true Southern Belle, Charlotte. And I've always loved the name Charlotte. Again, like I said, I've got a sister named Charlotte and a late aunt named Charlotte. Okay, so now that I've got that top done, Gary, focus on the back, guys. And like I said, I'm going to kind of go down the shaft the last 10 minutes just because I feel like it needs a little bit of a color refresh. And don't worry if you feel like you could go over. Like, because some people think if you refresh it, it's going to look darker or be different. But just remember, the last 10 minutes, most of it's just going to penetrate somewhat it's going to penetrate it just slightly. The shaft of the hair, the cuticles just a little bit. But it's not going to be just so dramatic that it changes the overall look of it, you know. So, yeah, you just, like I said, want to make sure you're getting those roots. And like I said, if you have a three-way mirror, or if you want to just hold it up in your hand and touch that color up, you can. And like I said, I'm not going to stay on the live the entire time. But once I get it all over the roots, I'm going to show you how to do a color refresh on the ends. I'm going to do it in the front first. And that's just so everything is even, you know. Because I've been pretty consistent with using the same color. But again, you know, today I had to improvise. So I'm kind of matching what I had. And as this kind of fades, it'll be the same color that I've been buying, which was, I think it was like a warm neutral red. Not Kansas. Now, Kansas City barbecue is better than Texas. Well, I'm going to say this. I've never had, well, actually, you know what? I have had Texas barbecue. But it was an event that we have back where I'm from. And it's called Barbecue on the River. And we get people from all over the United States that compete. And I think the top prize is like $10,000 or $25,000. So I have had Texas barbecue, but not Kansas. So I don't know. That could be true or it could be false. So I'm not on here to debate, but I love some good barbecue. Actually, I just love good food. So it could be from anywhere as long as it's good. And or gumbo. Okay, so once that's done, guys, let me show you before I go to the back. See that red's lifting up really good? It's not going to be this red because remember, I put the 10 neutral in there. And since color doesn't lift color, you don't have to worry about if it's going to lift any darkness that's on the shaft. It'll just kind of refresh it and kind of put a little bit of the red. So here's your color refresh section that I'm going to show you. So all I do is I take maybe about this many strands, okay? I go down it and I just take my gloves and just work that color straight down. I don't pull it. I just kind of very slightly just pull it down the shaft. And that's just so everything kind of blends and everything looks good once it's, you know, shampooed out. So that's it. Once you do that, you can go to the next section. Now, granted, I leave this on about 25 minutes. But you can, because people don't realize, like, once the color is on your locks, or hair in general, once you do that, some people think if they leave it on longer, it's going to get lighter. but it's not. Once the color is done processing, it's done. It's not going to lift anymore, and it's not going to deposit anymore. Hello, VG. Pray that you are having a blessed evening. Positive vibes on here only. Okay, so yeah, we just sectioning this off. Thank you for all that are or will or have tuned in. This is just a little, just a little something on y'all's Thursday evening. It's hard. First of all, it's hard to believe it's even Thursday, which is why I'm coloring my locks this weekend, for this weekend. And, so yeah, y'all can see it kind of depositing that color on that front part that I showed you. See that? And as you can see, you can still see my highlights through it. The highlight will not change because it's about a 25-30 volume. So it's not going to lift and it's not going to deposit. Now, sometimes it can kind of change the color slightly, but not very much. And like I say, you're just going to kind of lift. Once the scalp kind of warms, just take your brush and kind of move it around in there. Because as that product kind of warms up, it becomes movable. So you don't have to apply any more color from your bowl. You could just use what you have. See how it kind of swells? And that's just because the peroxide, the developer, starts to puff up. I'm looking sexy or whatever. That's been the word lately. They'll be like, I'm trying to get sexy. And I do have a few little sections I want to make sure that I covered back here. Because ain't nothing like putting color on. And then once it's done, you like, are you kidding me? You done missed a whole spot. I have done that. Now I can usually feel my locks and I can tell where I need to put color because I can feel where it's kind of puffed up. But yeah, this is going to look really good, guys. And also another tip, if you don't want any color, now I'm not necessarily concerned about it because there is a way to remove any color that gets on the skin. You can actually use the color itself to remove the color from your skin. By using like a cotton round or cotton ball. But another trick you can use is taking like a cotton ball once you're done and taking some peroxide to clean that off of your skin. But since this is kind of somewhat of a red and I use a little neutral, when I take a shower, my facial cleanser should get that off. Okay. And as you guys can see, this looks really good. Okay. It's looking real good. It's, like I said, saturated. I'm going to turn around, let you guys see the bag. Like I said, at this point, I'm kind of going down the shaft of the hair. I've completely covered the roots. As you can see, I wanted to see, there's no darkness in there anymore. That's how you know that it's coming up. It's lifted the hair, especially my gray hair. And it's depositing that color. And see, I'm not putting any more color on the brush. I'm literally using what I have now that it's warmed up. Because I don't know about y'all, but I just had a birthday, May the 12th. Taurus stand up. I turned 24. Okay, 24. And somehow the numbers got rearranged on my cupcake. So look, that's the age I am this year. So anyway, all I'm doing, I didn't put it, like I said, I haven't put any more color on the brush. It's lifted that gray and it's depositing that color to the scalp onto my hair. And I'm totally okay if it makes it this color throughout the ends. And I'm going to tell you why. Because again, color doesn't lift color, it deposits. And so in this case, if it happens to deposit onto, like right that time, I had a little color on the brush. If it deposits on where I did the highlights, it's fine. Because I want you guys to remember something. Red is not a true color. So it fades extremely fast. So whatever the base of that red is, that's what it's eventually going to fade to. So this will be a really nice auburn color. And even though it's summer, my skin tone pulls pulls gold. And I have a red undertone. So I'm okay with it kind of, changing that way. And sorry I'm looking down what I'm doing now. Let me turn around so you guys can see. I'm making sure that I get the nape, because this is the most missed part here, is getting on the nape and around the sides. And then once the color's on here, I'll line it up, because I always make sure to keep my kitchen clean, because I don't, I just don't so much fancy hair growing down my neck. Some people don't mind it when they're natural, but I do. And it's probably because there was so many years that when I wore my hair short and in cute styles, you had to keep the neck cleaned up. So that's what I'm doing now. So yeah, just kind of go in. All I'm doing now, everything is, it's pretty much changing. So at this point, we've been on the live for 20 minutes. I'm gonna probably give it another 10 minutes. I'm gonna shampoo this out, and I'll come on live tomorrow so you can see the final results. Because again, once I get done, I'm gonna shower. Today was a very busy day for me. I've been doing like some house stuff, like repairing plaster, painting, all that stuff. You know, because I love beautiful things and I like things to be nice. So yes, so once I finish this, because we've been on here 21 minutes. And again, for anybody that has locks, sister locks, dreadlocks, wigs, I'm not, probably the same process, but you're going to use quite a bit of color to penetrate them, because you want to make sure you're penetrating the shaft of your locks. Like, see, in this case, I'm just adding a little bit to the ends the last 10 minutes, especially on the back. So all I'm doing is just pulling these out, taking a little bit of color like this. You can even take the color you have on the roots and just kind of pull it down like that as well. Okay, and honestly, this live isn't just for people that have locks. This is if you want to color your hair at home. I'm showing you the proper way to do that without compromising the color. So I pray that my free tips, you know, because there's going to come a point where the price going to go up, baby. Look, tomorrow's price ain't going to be today's price. Nah, but for real. So I'm completely okay with it being a little bit red. Because like I said, this is great wash, get shampooed out. And you guys, like I said, once it's shampooed out, I'll still have my highlights. Because your hair will never lighten or darken beyond the level in which you've used it. Unless like I was using like a black or a brown or something like that, which I'm not. And I'm completely okay if it's kind of a red color. Because like I said, after I shampoo it a few times, it's going to go back to what it was. But what y'all think? Y'all think it's look good? I'm thinking it's looking good. Actually, like I said, I was just my main concern was, even though I can rock red, like Auburn's and stuff like that, I was kind of concerned it might get a little too red, even though I used the neutral. But baby, let me zoom in. And y'all have a different light next time, because like I feel like the light in here doesn't necessarily validate the fabulous that I see versus what you see. I'm up on my gold earrings and everything. Look, thank you, VG. Hello. Because like I said, I'm just trying to get sexy. Sexier. So yeah, everything is smooth on there. And I usually have some clips in here, but I am out. Let me show you guys the center here. Let me part it so you can see that I've gotten it really good down in there. See that? And I even sometimes go back just to make sure that I left no stone unturned. And sometimes I'll do it in sections. So for people that aren't professionals like I am, you can do it in 4 sections. So I'm going to show you real quick. You're going to take your hair, like say if before you color it, you're going to do the 4 sections like this. You're going to pull it up. Now, like I said, I don't have my clips in here, which I'm very upset about. I know y'all like, she's a professional. She should have that on hand. But this was just kind of a just spur of the moment thing. So you could do one section, clip it up, do your next section. Look, I'm gonna pretend maybe it'll stay twisted. Do your next section, always kind of right behind the ear. Let me come over in the camera. Clip this up, okay? So once that's done, you'll do the same for the back. You'll section this right down the middle. Y'all don't pay attention to my hot dog. My little hot dog on my neck back there. It's hereditary, baby. But I'm still sexy. So it's all good. But yeah, that's what you'll do. 2 in the back, 2 in the top. Do each section. Do whatever you're comfortable with. And like I said, guys, we are at 26 minutes. I've had my glasses on all day, and I normally don't wear them all day unless I'm reading or on my laptop. And so if I do leave them on because I'm trying to be cute, because I had some little pigtails earlier, and I just had it like pulled up on each side, so I did not intend to wear them all day, so I'll be having to zoom in like this, look at the time. But yeah, as y'all can see, yeah, this is what this looks like so far. And I've gotten pretty much all the locks, including like the baby ones back there that are like my newly formed locks that, you know, there was no hair there. And I was able to pinch it up, baby. I scraped it right on up and got some locks. But yeah, I usually had it in some little puff balls, have my glasses on. And that's another thing. I'm going to do a video on the different styles now that I've actually got some length. So we actually have a few minutes, guys, before this gets shampooed out. Again, at the very end, just make sure everything is ran through the ends so everything is even. And for me, I ain't gonna lie, I be making sure to get that center. Make sure you get the center. The center in the back is the most missed part when people are coloring their hair at home. And even though I didn't think I was making a mess, there's a few little dots of color that I'm gonna have to clean up, guys. But I'm thinking it's looking good. What y'all think? I'm in my, it's all about what I think era, but y'all are my followers and you follow me for a reason. And it's nothing but fabulousness over here and greatness. And also, guys, I want to tell y'all, the reason why I hadn't been on here showing you anything with my hair is because I had lost my voice. Literally, I had to go to the doctor. Had to get a steroid shot. I could speak, but I was hoarse for a few weeks. My throat chakra was blocked and I couldn't talk. Like I could, but I was like really raspy and hoarse. I was like, hey, so I couldn't get on here and do this. You know, because y'all have been like, just log off. Because I would have been saying the same thing. Just log off and move along. So, yeah. Really digging this. Oh, yeah. You know what I was thinking? I'm going to do a photo shoot with my locks. I'm going to do it myself, though. And I need some outfits. I need some outfit ideas. Oh, yeah, if I didn't say it already, I'm going to say it again. Like, comment, subscribe so you can be part of the tribe and you will know any and every time I post a video. I also have a new channel, guys. It's me at home, decorating, fixing, cleaning, like that sort of thing. It is called My Luxe Home, which is capital M-Y, well, the Y's little, lowercase. It's My Luxe Home. And so, yeah, go check it out. My Luxe Home. You're going to see my photo. Like Kentucky Southern Belle. Yes, thank you, Thank you, VG. That's what I do. That's what I do, baby. And like I said, this color on my forehead I'll take a little peroxide before I get in the shower. So I'm going to take a shower after this, after I shampoo it out. And, yeah. And like I said, I'm not so much worried about my highlights. because the highlights will come back. And I shampoo my locks now that it's hot outside, even though I don't really sweat in my head, I still shampoo them now probably once a week, once every week and a half. If I'm working in the yard, they get shampooed because I do not get in my bed on my clean sheets or pillowcases with dirty locks. Now, some people might say, oh, why? If you shampoo your lock, nah, baby, this start getting shampooed. Because, you know, I don't do dirty hair. Never have, never will. So that's it, guys. I'm gonna turn around, show you the back. I was cleaning my gloves because these are reusable. Always make sure that you're using gloves. Plus, I got my little nails done. Didn't want color on them. Now let me show you the back. I'm not really worried about this shirt because it's an old shirt, but as you can see, everything is evenly coated. We're in the last few minutes before we shampoo it out. Make sure you're using a color-treated shampoo on your locks. Now, here's a little secret. If you do a color and you don't want it to be as vibrant as mine is, which I'm not necessarily concerned about it because I shampoo them enough. And every time you shampoo, even if you use a color-treated shampoo, so much of it's going to come out anyway. But the secret is if it's too vibrant, you be like, oh no, it's too red, it's too brown, it's too whatever. You can actually mix a clarifying shampoo, or especially like if your hair was a little dirty prior to, use a little bit of clarifying shampoo in with your color treated shampoo. So just a little bit of clarifying color, and you're always gonna emulsify it before you shampoo it. And yeah, you good to go. So tell me what you think. Comment, like, comment, and subscribe, of course. Tune in tomorrow. I will show you. Look, I'm cleaning up. I'm one of those clean it up as you go girls, okay? So I was over here, which I'm going to come back with some bleach and disinfect and clean. But like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you think. I think it turned out beautifully. And like I said, you're still going to see my highlights when I shampoo this out. I'm going to put a nice conditioner on it. I feel like my locks are growing out beautifully for those that have followed me on my journey. And that's that. That pretty much ends it tonight. Thank you for tuning in. I will see you guys tomorrow. Or actually, you know, I think what I might do is once I shampoo it out, I'll come back a few minutes and just kind of show you what they look like, okay? So stay tuned. I'll be back in about 15-20 minutes, do a quick live to show you the update. All right, see you soon.